Can I also request everyone to move as far forward as possible as we do get fully packed out. So if we can take advantage of this time, just move as far forward as possible, so that will stop us from interrupting the lecture. So can you please move forward with the salawat? Closer you are to the member, the more blessings there are. So I've been told. We'll now begin tonight with the Holy Quran recitation by Brother Muhammad Ali. Can we please invite him with the salawat?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ارجعوا إلى أبيكم فقولوا يا أبانا إن ابنك سرق وما شهدنا إلا بما علمنا إلا بما علمنا وما كنا للغيب حافظين. واسأل القرية التي كنا فيها والعير التي أقبلنا فيها وإنا لصادقون. قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل عسى الله أن يأتيني بهم جميعا إنه هو العليم الحكيم. وتولى عنهم وقال يا أسف على يوسف وابيضت عيناه من الحزن فهو كظيم. قالوا تالله تفتأ تذكر يوسف حتى تكون حرضا أو تكون من الهالكين. قال إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله وأعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون. يا بني اذهبوا فتحسسوا من يوسف وأخيه ولا تيأسوا من روح الله يا بني اذهبوا فتحسسوا من يوسف وأخيه ولا تيأسوا من روح الله إنه لا ييأس من روح الله إلا القوم الكافرون. فلما دخلوا عليه قالوا يا أيها العزيز مسنا وأهلنا الضر وجئنا ببضاعة مزجاة فأوف لنا الكيل وتصدق علينا إن الله يجزي المتصدقين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
Salawat. Our home is Karbala, with the youth of the Shia. Hussein's flag is our treasure, we will fly it forever. Our home is Karbala, with the youth of the Shia. Hussein's flag is our treasure, we will fly it forever. We will never let it fall. When we see it, we stand tall, salute it, and we then call to you, Hussein, help us all. We will never let it fall. When we see it, we stand tall, salute it, and we then call to you, Hussein, help us all. Our home is Karbala, with the youth of the Shia. Hussein's flag is our treasure, we will fly it forever. In Muharram every hall has this flag hung on the walls. We saw it when we were small, we cried Hussein when we crawled. In Muharram every hall has this flag hung on the walls. We saw it when we were small, we cried Hussein when we crawled. Our home is Karbala, with the youth of the Shia. Hussein's flag is our treasure, we will fly it forever. Oh Hussein, just like Abbas, we'll plant the flag with our hands, one for every grain of sand, throughout each and every land. Oh Hussein, just like Abbas, we'll plant the flag with our hands, one for every grain of sand, throughout each and every land. Our home is Karbala, with the youth of the Shia. Hussein's flag is our treasure, we will fly it forever. This flag's our identity, it runs through our families, from Abbas to the Mahdi, flying for eternity. This flag's our identity, it runs through our families, from Abbas to the Mahdi, flying for eternity. Our home is Karbala, with the youth of the Shia. Hussein's flag is our treasure, we will fly it forever. Our home is Karbala, with the youth of the Shia. Hussein's flag is our treasure, we will fly it forever. Salawat.
Can we applaud their effort again with a loud salawat that they deserve? Salawat.
Salawat. Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? I am the daughter of Ali, and my name is Zainab, and my name is Zainab. Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? Oh father, you had told me when I was younger, there
would come a time when we would arrive in Karbala, a caravan so full with brothers, nephews and your sons. But how it would be massacred and feel so empty. I never thought that this could be so. Where would my Abbas be? Where would my Abbas be? Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? The torches that I faced, the insult that have been thrown, they snatched away my veil, Father, my hair was shown. How much will we have to suffer and go on in pain? Oh Ummah, do you not remember we are Ahlul Bayt? That adhan you hear now, Yazid talks about my grandfather, talks about my grandfather. Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? When Hind came down into the cells to see the commotion, she came to find the reasons for our sufferings and our plight. Oh prisoners, what have you done to deserve this treatment? Then she remembered that she had seen my face before. Oh Lady Zainab, it can't be. Are my eyes deceiving me? Are my eyes deceiving me? Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? In Sham the tyrant Yazid was celebrating. Raising his brows, he taunted and paraded us around. He said, throw Fizza aside so I can see Zainab. But Fizza boldly said to him, desist from evilness. If you do this, blood will flow now like water. Like water inside your court. Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? The wolves came in when I cried out, we have nothing. The hooves beat on the desert sand as it came closer by. Stop please, the children will wake up, they've suffered oh so much. The rider's face came into view, could it be my father? Sorrow written, grief stricken too, somberness all over. Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? Oh Ali, what has now happened? Where are you, my father? Where are you, my father? Salawat.
Mashallah, it's amazing to see such nice young talent. Now, before I invite another young talent to the mimbar, can I ask you all to move as far forward as possible, please, with the salawat.
رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستقيم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Thank you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين شفيع ذنوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين وأصحابه المنتجبين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. أما بعد، السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Just recite the salawat and come forward if you can. Sorry. We were talking about the unique relationship that Imam Hussain portrays between himself and his Allah, and how he progresses in his understanding of Allah, and how that relationship allows him to become what he becomes, and how that relationship manifests in him through his words and his actions and his attitude. And as we look at Imam Hussein's journey, we are filled with admiration for Imam Hussain, that how can a man withstand the sort of test that he withstood? And how can he be so dignified under the circumstances that he found himself? How can he be so calm, so morally righteous, so spiritually centered? Why would he not break? Why would he not scream in despair? Why would he not curse and swear? After all, is this not what a human being is naturally supposed to do? Previously in his life, we find Imam Hussain saying to his brother, I find no peace with the pain that grips my soul. Allow me to strike Abdul Rahman ibn Muljim so I might find some release. The same person here. He looks at his Akbar's chest being torn apart, but we do not find that rage in him of wanting to seek revenge and of relieving himself of that anger and that rage. How wonderful is he when he emerges from the Al-Qama and he cries out, O people, if you have lost sense of any God and religion and accountability within the hereafter, and all sense of your Arab pride, then be free man in this world of yours. For it does not befit you to behave in this manner. I am still alive. Kill me first before you advance towards my tents. We see this beautiful relationship that Hussain has with his God, in which he begins to lead a very meaningful life. His existence becomes a substantive existence. It is here that when we admire Hussain and we are filled with admiration for him, that in his love we too, in instances, are able to do the same. However, these are moments in which we are inspired and moments in which we are moved, but these moments come and they go. The secret is to perpetuate the beauty that he has in his relationship with God, within ourselves. It cannot be a moment. It has to be a perpetual state within us. The Quran says, when Abraham crushed the idols, the scene was so shocking that for a moment they reverted within themselves. And they said, oh, sorrow be your lot. You are at a loss and you are the oppressive people. Thumma nukesu. And then they reverted back to their former ways. And they said, Ibrahim, you know they do not talk. These moments have to become a perpetual state within us, so that we can begin to lead a meaningful life through God. For Hussain, God is that principle of simplicity. As human beings, there are too many complexities in our minds. There is everything there that we are trying to do, trying to control, but God has not destined any control. Imagine. And God is awakening us through these impossible tasks that we are trying to achieve, that awaken to the one who can truly control it. Then we awaken to God in a false manner. And we say, oh God, I bow down to you, now control the situation for me. And God says, no, the true control is in lack of control and trusting my discretion. How interesting is this life of ours? Allah says, no, the seas are turbulent. Set sail and be ready for your ship to be wrecked. And in that wreckage, call out to me and say, oh Lord, if this be your will, then this be the ark of safety for me. If I drown you, then in that drowning find life. If I cut you apart, then in that find well-being. For Hussein, God is the point of simplicity. He is able to give it all away. Look at us, how burdened we are. Burdened through the lack of control and constantly fighting to control. Everything that we are trying to do is to be found internally, not outside ourselves. The business empires that we are trying to control, if only we knew the unending treasures are within us. The life that we're trying to retain, if only we knew that life comes through the tasting of death. The dignity that we want only comes in the humility of giving selves away to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not easy for Hussein to give away his Abbas and Akbar and Asghar. But what makes it simpler for him is this relationship that he has with his God. At one point he says, know well that these days shall not last for long. Allah shall quickly change them. And even if He doesn't change them, He will take them away by bringing you to Himself. So we have a great deal to learn from Imam Hussain. It would be good if through Hussein we begin to live a proper life and not become emotionally charged for a moment and then lose Hussein. Now the way Hussein was, we explained yesterday, finally in his journey, he falls in love with Allah very intensely and very, very deeply. Love has its own properties. That when you say to your beloved, oh my beloved, do you find this pleasurable? If you do so, then I find this the most befitting state to be in. How? In Arafah when we go, you know how people want to maintain their ihram and not get them dirty? But the beloved says, let it be dirtied with the dust of Arafah. For me, that is beauty. So the lover then sits on the sand and buries the forehead deep within the dust and lifts the head up, covered with dust and dirty. And Allah says, this is beauty for me. For your soul has devoted itself through the body that is perishing that I gave to you. Of what good is a car that I give to you if you do not want to use the car to come to me? Let the car be destroyed. I've just bought a new one. Salawat. Of course, we are never free of shaitan, are we? Of what good is your body? The one that needs to emerge from through your body is the one that is within. I find the beauty of what is inside you by you offering the ruination of what is outside you. How beautiful are the words of God, in which He says that your breath that smells through excessive hunger and fast, that is more fragrance for me than the fragrance of paradise. How beautiful are the words of the beloved, in which He says, your unkempt hair in my devotion and service is the most handsome hairstyle that you could ever present to me. How beautiful are the words of God when He says that the real one that I want is the one that is within. Love is something else. This is what Hussein does. As the blood oozes from his body, is a gesture of love for his God. And his God rejoices in that. And he says, you know this, Hussein? Do not wash his body. His blood is purer for me than your camphor. Do you know his torn clothes? Bury him like this. It is better than the cleanest kafan that you can put on to anybody else. For that is the language of love, and Hussein falls in love with his God. When he falls in love with his God, pleasure and pain, beauty and ugliness, like and dislike, all of it changes altogether. He knows nothing now beyond his Lord. His life becomes a substantive life. He begins to live like a free man. Do you know what he says at that point? Cut this head off, it will bow not. Cut it off 1,000 times, for that is the freest man. Who is the freest man? The man who can no longer be intimidated. He says, I'm in love. If you cut my head off, it will be a gift of God to me, because God saw me worthy amidst hundreds and millions of people. Imagine how he understands God. You know, normally we say Hussein has an ihsan on Allah. Ask Hussein. And Hussein will say, Allah has a great favor on me, that he chose me to taste this level of love of his. Hussein says to Allah, he says, "O Lord, how you touch the hearts with your love, that they stand yearning you, finding no rest without you. O Lord, how I want to be hidden away from the worlds, so that nobody sees me and shares in this moment, or ruins this moment that I share with you." So for Hussein, the relationship with Allah is a relationship that consumes him fully. Now, if we look at this relationship that Hussein has with Allah, and we analyze it on the day of Ashura, we find a different truth emerging. We find that no, he is no longer a person who is moved by emotional likes and dislikes. He is able to leave his personal likes and dislikes to one side, and he is moved through God and becomes godly instead. I often give this example, that when Hur comes to him, he is no longer the person that he was before he came to Karbala. He said to Hur, "Thaqulatka ummuk," may your mother find it heavy to bear your loss of death. He cursed Hur. Hur comes to him. Now when Hussein is within the grip of death, Hur comes to him repentant. Hussein offers this gesture, and what is it? He said, "Oh brother, come, embrace me instead. You are no longer the enemy of God. You have repented. The criminal has gone. This is a new person." It's a very godly response that he offers. If you look at him in the battlefield, when the blades are consuming him, he is weeping. They say, "Why?" He says, "For them, they are going to be ruined. I will say such care, such compassion for his adversaries at that point. I am a test for them and they for me. The only difference is that Hussein is growing through his test and those people are becoming condemned through theirs." Where do you find a heart that finds tear and compassion for the enemies that are putting him to death? You find him beneath the blade. Somebody comes to him and he says, "Can you forgive me at this point?" And he says, "I have forgiven you." It is nothing but godliness inside him. He is not moved by emotions at this point. There is no negative rage left in him. He has fallen in love with God. Now he loses his discretion to God. And the beautiful Lord reflects his beauty through the person of Hussein ibn Ali. Where have you found a person who is so thirsty, who is so hungry, who is so wounded? And yet on his last breath he says, "La ilaha ghayruk." There is no God but you. Hasanul bala. Best are your tests. When there is no response, he cries out, "Qareebun mujib." You are near, you respond to everything. Where do you find a person who says to Allah, "O Lord, I am pleased. I am not heavy-hearted. I do not begrudgingly accept your decree. But, O Lord, I embrace it wholesomely." Where do you find such a person? And when he leaves Zainab, he says, "Utter not anything that is displeasing to your Lord." He knows best what he is doing. When we study Hussein, we actually come to an understanding that there is something phenomenal that we can learn from him. If only we could take that on board. One or two things that we can understand from Hussein is that success and failure is other than victory and defeat. He says that if Allah has destined defeat for me, then that is better for me than victory, because success was in his defeat and failure would have been in his victory. This is the level to which he understands God. We will no longer be afraid, anxious, anxiety will not prevail upon us if we could understand these principles. Hussein says, do the right thing. Leave the results to him. Do we not hear that beautiful story that that frog would leap and spit into the inferno prepared for Abraham? When somebody asks him, or an angel, I hesitate to narrate this story because last time in Canada, the person asked me who was the Rawi. I don't know the Rawi, but it's a good story. It makes sense. So he said, why do you do this? He said, I wish to put out the fire. I said, but how can you put out the fire with a drop of water? He said, that is none of my concern. I do this for the sake of my God, for my God requires this from me. Whatever God wants to do is up to him. How beautiful are these stories. That Hussein says, this is the right thing to do, I will do it. If Allah wants to make something out of it, let him. If Allah does not want to make anything out of him, let him. It's his choice. Imagine how life would become simplified if we could understand this. That do the right thing. Leave the rest to God. If he wants to obliterate you, let him. If he wants to have you cursed, let him. If he wants to make you the Solomon of this world, let him. But do not be concerned about it yourselves. Leave it to God. This is the first thing we understand from Hussein ibn Ali. The other thing we understand from Hussein ibn Ali is this distinction between human emotion and human reason. He placed the Quran upon his head on the day of Ashura. He said, "O people, I call you to this Quran, to judge between me and between you. Ever since I have awoken to Allah, I have tried not to lie, or that I have not lied." Look at how humble Hussein is. Ever since I have become mindful of Allah, I have not lied. I don't know, before I became mindful, I might have as a child. Look at how honest he is. The level of integrity in this man. Come to the book of God. What was the response? Bay'ah of the Amir. Oh, we put you to death. A very emotional response came from that side. It wasn't reasoned. This is what we do. This is how our lives are ruined. We are emotional people. We are in cages of emotions. The greatest regret is when we breathe our last and we will say, through a deluded world, we've missed out on God altogether. That is what will happen. All these likes and these dislikes. Muawiyah put the fingers of Naila and the shirt of Osman, Khalifa Osman, on display and aroused the people into their emotions. Ali is a kafir. Ali is a drunkard. Ali is this. Ali is that. And emotionally these people went and they fought Imam Ali in Siffin. Ammar Yasir came, fighting like a youth. He came, he said, I'm thirsty. Give me something to drink. They went, they brought back milk. Ammar smiled. They said, why? He said, my Habib had told me, Ammar, your last sustenance in this world will be a sip of milk. They said, we don't have water, so we've brought milk for you. He smiles. He said, my Habib can never be wrong. He drinks the sip of milk, engages with the enemy, and this time round, without caring, tears into their ranks until somebody from afar spears him down. When he falls, the enemy are shaken. Amr ibn As is shaken. That now the people will know that the Prophet had said, Ammar, nobody will kill you except for the fay'a baghiya, except for the outlaws, the wrongful people. So Amr ibn As comes, and guess what he says? Ali has killed him for bringing him to this battle. When reason goes, this is what happens. When reason goes, this is what happens. When emotions prevail, the word of God is not based on emotions. If it was based on emotion, it would be particularized into small groups. لَيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. In order for it to prevail upon every religion, it has to be rationally based. This is what Hussein teaches us. So somebody said, Ammar, if Ali has killed Ammar Yasir, he said, Amr ibn As, if Ali has killed Ammar Yasir, then the Prophet killed Hamza for bringing him into the battle of Uhud. But of course, they do not want to listen to the rebuttal. By the time that rebuttal comes, they've all gone and made up their minds. So the first thing Hussein teaches is this distinction between emotion and reason. Try and understand things for what they are worth. The other thing Hussein ibn Ali teaches is that truly lead a life that is substantive life, that is grounded. I often give this example, and I gave it earlier on today, something of the sort, that our comparison is like people who are in a dream machine. And we are sharing each other's dreams. We have forgotten that this is a dream machine. Now inside that dream machine, we are supposed to look for something in that dream. And we are supposed to find something in that dream. Do you know what we are supposed to find? We are supposed to find our identities. Who am I in this dream? But you know what has happened instead? We have looked at gardens and pastures and buildings and land, and we have tried to accumulate all of that. But your central task was to find out who you are. But I've amassed all of this. You haven't amassed anything because you're not there. You haven't amassed anything. You're a very deluded person. This is just a dream. There is nothing there. There are no friends, there are no enemies, there are no riches, there is no life, there is no death. It's but a dream. Don't waste your life, find yourself. That was the central task at hand. This is our life that we lead. It's not a substantive life. And when we awaken, which is the real awakening after death, or at the point of death, we find this state of regret. I will recount that hadith of Imam Sadiq at this point because I find it very pertinent. The Imam said that the greatest tribulation for you at the point of death and at the point of resurrection will not be the sight of hell, nor the horrors of the day of Qiyamah. The greatest tribulation upon you will be the realization that you have missed out on an opportunity. That an opportunity has gone totally. There was an opportunity for you to awaken and to find yourselves and to find your God. You let it slip. It was the only opportunity you were going to ever have. You risked your all to come into this world. Allah says, "Imma shakiran, imma kafura." Either they are thankful or they are ungrateful. It is a make and a break situation in this world. But you are so deluded in this world that you did not even live properly. Now that you've died, you realize that you have missed out on an opportunity. Now here, every eye shall cry. The people who have not found God, by priority will cry. The people who have found God will cry that they did not find God enough. Every one of us will cry in regret for not having lived a substantive life. Now I say this, and I repeat this again and again. Of what good is reading that Quran, after which we begin to judge each other? Isn't Quran something that is from God? Doesn't God accept all His children and creatures? Quran is the one after reading which we become like Prophet Muhammad. Lady Aisha had said that the Prophet was nurtured by the teachings of the Quran. And that is how the Prophet became the Prophet. Of what good is the reading of the Quran if after that no godliness takes birth in our souls? Of what good are these sajdas that we do if after that a person can't think straight? Are they worshipping God or who are they worshipping? Of what good are these fasts? After which there is no pang, after which there is no pain for the plight of the world. Is it possible that a person fasts and then leaves the non-Muslims hungry and only talks about the Muslim plight, or only the Shia or the Sunni plight? I'm asking you. This is us missing out on an opportunity of life. Hussain teaches us how to lead a very substantive life. We come back to Hussain as we conclude. What happens to Hussain Salamullah alayhi after falling in love with Allah is that he allows Allah to emerge from within his self. Do you know something? These namazes, this fast, this Quran, these Hajj, all of this mean very little until and unless they come through here. For we have seen people who pray namaz kill each other. People who pray Quran burn others. People who fast strike Amirul Mu'mineen on his head. What we have seen is this. The community of people who read the Quran, pray and fast and do Hajj have not produced the scientists of this world. They have not produced the great humanitarians of this world. And here I will ask the Muslims that we people need to understand where we are. Are we reading the Quran of God? What Quran are we reading? In any case, Hussain allows Allah to emerge from deep within himself. Why? Because that is the only gain that you can have. You are the treasure. You are the hereafter. You are the paradise. There is nothing other than you. You are beyond paradise, if only you knew. Allow that beauty to emerge from within yourself. And when you find that beauty, you haven't lost anything. And that is what Hussain says. One of the things that happens to him in this state is he becomes defiant, extremely defiant. He does not submit to other than Allah. And we find this godly gem inside him. When the people of Kufa see Zainab Salamullah alayha and see other women, they begin to weep. No, they did not weep. Then they saw the head of Hussain and the heads of Abbas and Akbar. When they saw this scene, they observed how Zainab lamented. When they saw this, there was such huge commotion that they began to weep and slap their faces and scratch their faces and pull their hair. You know what Zainab said? She said, "Silence. Do not weep over my brother. We do not need your pity. By Allah, he has not left a single household amongst you but that he's put somebody to death." That's the spirit of defiance that Hussain had. On the day of Ashura, he said, "By God, you will not face another one like me. I shall not submit to you in humility, and you shall not take me with ease." We find one or two scenes here that are very disturbing. I'm just going to recount them and then finish. We find him standing, and we find him struck in the hollow of his neck by a spear. As it's extracted, he falls. He struggles and stands again. We find his thigh being struck by a sword. He falls and stands again. He is defiant. There is that spirit of defiance inside him. He does not want to die in submission and humility. But I'm not sure what was happening to Hussain at this point. Was it his spirit of defiance? Or that when he said, "I'm still alive, kill me first, before you go towards my tents." And Shimr said, "Honor it. Kill him first before you loot his tents." Was this defiance at this point? Or was it his want of protecting his women? In any case, he stands And when an arrow pierces his chest, he at that point says, "Oh Allah, they are killing me." And then he falls to the ground. His sister observes his head inside a tray. And Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad pokes at his teeth. "You had a good set of teeth, Hussein." Zainab says, "Oh brother, my grief knows no end. Why has Allah kept me alive to observe this scene?" He looks at her and says, "Zainab, how did you find the decree of God with you, with your brother and me?" She said, "I have not seen anything but the goodness of God prevail." Zainab again finds Yazid poking at his face with his stick and says, "If only my forefathers at Badr were to be present, they would say, 'Well done, O Yazid. You have avenged the blood that we lost in Badr, and now we are equal.'" She stands and she says, "Yazid, it befits somebody like you, whose meat and whose bone have been strengthened through the consumption of the milk of women who have chewed the flesh and the liver of the friends of God. O Yazid, it befits you to say this, whilst Aba Abdullah's body lies unburied without a head, and hyenas placed their footprints upon his chest." This is Zainab. As they leave Sham, she looks behind towards the ruins. And she says, "O ruins of Sham, we leave with you our amana. We go back empty-handed." As they arrive at a place, Kulthum says, "O sister, I hear the cries of a little child. This place unsettles me." Zainab asks Bashir, "What place is this?" And he says, "This is the route to Karbala." Zainab says, "Take us to our brother." As they go towards Karbala, Atiyah is at the grave of Hussein. Atiyah says to his slave, "Go and give me news who has come. If it is the son of Hussein, then I free you in the way of Allah. If it is the enemy, then come quickly and come back to me." Atiyah falls at the grave of Hussein and says, "Peace be with you, O Hussein." This is Hussein, why do you not reply? But how can you reply when your head is detached from your body? Imam Zainul Abidin comes with Zainab, Atiyah. So Jabir, move from the grave of my father. When Zainab comes to his grave, her wounds bleed again. She says one thing, "Hussein, I have left your child in Sham. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. إلهي إنا نسألك بحق الحسين وجده وبيه وأمه وأخيه وتسعة المعصومين من ذريته وبنيه. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. اللهم عجل فرج إمامنا المنتظر واجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه والمستشهدين بين يديه." We offer all the tasbihs and the Qurans that have been read with the hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses the soul of our dear sister with these wonderful recitations, and the souls of the marhumeen of all of us who are gathered here today. Our marhumeen that we remembered throughout the last 5 days, and Brother Abu Ghais, Aqil, Bilal Mama, Durbanu Masi, all those that we have lost. May Allah bless them and all our marhumeen. Can we recite a Surah Fatiha for their maghfirah. Al-Fatiha. Imam Hussain.
Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain. Oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh Sajjad, you taught us the art of supplication. You showed us the power of prostration to make Islam life's foundation, and how to ask Allah for salvation. Such is your status, so holy soul. You made Allah's love your only goal. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh Sajjad, you are the great grandson of Muhammad. Inside your veins flows the purest of blood. You came down from heaven like a rosebud and left your scent forever in this world. Your name will live on forever now. Till death you'll be in our hearts we vow. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh Sajjad, you are in prison, your feet were in chains, and on the chains splattered were your blood stains. Inside your heart were the scars of those pains, of what you saw that day on the hard plains. Oh, you are patience personified. You thanked Allah though your hands were tied. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh Sajjad, you saw your father's head on that spear, your mother's bare-handed and in fear. Your sister was treated so severe, that blood was pouring down from her ear. And yet you were so brave that you spoke, and in that courtyard the world awoke. Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh Sajjad. For 40 long years you kept on weeping, 'cause in your mind Sham kept on repeating the lashes you got and all the beating. For all these feelings there is no healing. Those memories always will be raw, of what you heard, felt and what you saw. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh Sajjad, Muhammad wa ala Muhammad salawat. السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء، السلام عليك يا خديجة الكبرى، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين، وعلى 9 المعصومين من ذريتك، علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والحجة بن الحسن، عجل الله فرجه وسهل الله مخرجه وظهوره. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Just a quick announcement now before we conclude. On behalf of the Al-Mahdi Institute, I would like to thank you all for the attendance and participation over the past 5 nights. I'd like to thank all the reciters and the lecturers, and obviously you guys for attending also. The Al-Mahdi Institute is a charitable, educational and research establishment committed to serving the grassroots communities through the training of future scholars of religion, engaging in cutting-edge research and translations, as well as a wide range of outreach activities, as a means of sharing the human face of Islam and the message of the Ahlul Bayt. As a grassroots-funded organization, you're all welcome to donate to the Institute in whatever capacity you can to allow the Institute to continue its activities. If you'd like to hear more about our activities, you can sign up to our mailing list located on the table outside the chapel. The library will be open for half an hour after the program tonight, so please make benefit of that and go and visit and look at the wide selection of the Arabic, Persian, Urdu and English literature. Finally, can we please recite a Surah Fatiha for Marhuma, and after we recite Surah Fatiha, Niyaz is being served down in the dining room at the end of the corridor. Al-Fatiha.